ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking back hits, subscribe, Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Transformers action figure review on the Transformers The Last Night Premiere Edition Leader Class Megatron. If you're trying to pick this up, you can do so right now.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
This is actually my first movie Leader Class Megatron figure. Anyway, we get a nice image of Megatron right over there, and then on the side it says Transformers. We get a Decepticon symbol. Then on the very back you can see some product shots. And by the way, these do look like 3D rendered images. I would like to see actual products on the back of the packaging from now on. Thank you, Hasbro. Anyway, you can see the Leader Class Optimus Prime. There's a read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. Now on the very side, you can see another image of Megatron. It says Merciless Tyrant. Not much more on the top and not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Megatron out of the packaging. Now, the sentimental value of this figure over here is through the roof because this is the one toy I brought with me to the hospital while my wife was giving birth, and it was 13 hours of labor, man. So yeah, I had some time to read comics and, you know, go ahead and play with the figure and, you know, do a whole kind of massaging and stuff like that, soothe the wife and do all the things. But anyway, I really like this figure a lot. I love the flame effects over here. I think this is just really well done. A lot of nice paint apps, and I just really like it. I enjoy the figure. So let's get a closer look at this jet mode. Actually, I wanted to take a closer look at these flame effects that come with the figure. And if my voice sounds a little bit weird, it's because I'm a bit sick, so I'm just trying to muscle through it. But anyway, I really like these. We get this translucent plastic. I think they look great. A little bit weird. Doesn't it look like a bundle of mustaches? I just see mustaches all over the place, right? It just looks like mustaches piled on top of mustaches. So I wish they'd done it a little bit better, you know, not so mustachio-y, you know, yeah, that's a real word, mustachio-y. Alright, anyway, you can go ahead and plug these into the back of Megatron as you saw earlier, so just port right in there, and you can do it to the other side right over there, or you could go ahead and take advantage of this feature, which I like. This is a pretty cool feature. You have this button right over the top right there. You just go, right there, and then choom, and then you can take one of the flame effects parts and port it right in the very front. So now he's shooting fire out of his nose just like how he did in the movie, right? We all remember that part, don't we? Now I like this. I think it's actually pretty cool, and this slides forward and back. I thought at first you could put a missile in there, but it doesn't shoot a missile or anything. My only gripe with this is that it doesn't stay together as nicely as I'd like it to. It's a little finicky. You get these tabs right here in the middle, and then you really have to make sure that this nose tab is all together, and then that happens to me quite a bit, and then I'm like mush it together, and then it'll stay okay for a little bit, but you know, you just tap it on the top. You know, the button's all the way over there. It'll just come undone. So that's a little frustrating. And you can see how easily it just wants to come apart. And if this isn't pushed down all the way, it's definitely going to come apart on you. But they did paint the hell out of this thing. I really like how it looks. Get some beautiful dry brushing over here. I think that looks great. I wish we had more of this on the figure. It really just seems to be on this whole front section over here only. But still, I mean, I'm glad it's there. It looks great. Just wish we had more of it. Guess I could do it myself, but anyway, we get more translucent orange right there for the cockpit, and then we get some gold on the sides, and of course he has the landing gear, and then shit, yeah, it keeps on coming off. But anyway, you could flip that down, put that back in, so I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, this just wants to pop out on me. And I do love that we have the Cybertronian text right over here. I think that's cool. It's actually sculpted in there. Then we get this mustard yellowish gold color right over here, and then some more text sculpted into the figure. Then here's this big old sword, just tabs right over here into the top. You can see it has the port right there. I like that it has this gunmetal color and then it goes into the very dark blue. Wings look really good. We have more Cybertronian text sculpted in there, looking great. I gotta say, I love that it's sculpted in there instead of just painted on, so that's pretty awesome. I dig that. Then looking on the very back, it looks pretty sweet. I love how the jets came out right over here on the back. It looks like we have some thrusters right here in the front, so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I love the gunmetal that we're seeing right here. It's a pretty good looking plane mode, man. I do like it. It's pretty large, you know. It's just this thing right over here just frustrates me. And you can see on the bottom you have these two little fins right here, and it actually rests on those as well as this whole landing gear. So you have this going on, rests on this guy and these two over here. So you just rest it down on the ground like that. So that's pretty sweet, you know, it's pretty well balanced. I dig that. Now measuring out the wingspan of this figure, you can see it's at about 15.5 inches. And then measuring him from nose to culo, he's at about 14 inches. And then here's the jet modes of the Leader class Megatron and the Voyager class Megatron. A lot of people praise the Voyager class over the Leader class, but I actually think I like the Leader class jet mode more. The wingspan just looks a bit larger in proportion to the rest of the jet. So I don't know, let me know what you think as far as the jet modes go in the comment section. So I like the transformation for this guy. It's not too tricky. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? Okay, so first off, I'm going to go ahead and remove the sword right over here, put that aside, then I'm going to hit this button because that's going to come undone anyway, then flip that gear up right over there, and then we're going to separate the wings first, so we're going to swing that up right over here, take this guy and try to get him to swing out, upward I mean, and then we're going to take this piece right here and detach this fin right on there, and then this whole thing's going to flip upward. Then we're going to swing this guy back, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side right over here and flip this up. Oop, this kind of got detached a little bit, but separate that, flip this upward, move that down, and then swing this all the way up. And then we're going to go ahead and turn these in so that these fins go into this hole right over here, and then swing this up like that, and that's going to be his little backpack, which actually isn't really too bad, and we could kind of separate that and lift that upward, but we can actually get back to that later on because it's a little finicky right now. We're going to take the legs, swing them down, then flip this up right here, close that up, same thing, flip that down, and that does pop off on me much more than I'd like it to, so it's just, you know, port that in there, and flip this up, and then swing that down. Then you can turn the legs so that they're facing forward, and then we're going to take this whole centerpiece, move that down, flip the head out, and then we have the arms right over here at the very top, and you want to make sure that this comes undone. This is going to be the right side where the fusion cannon stays attached, so I just tend to flip this up to get that out of the way, and then, shoot, I untabbed that, and I didn't mean to do that, a little sloppy there, Shartimus. I'm getting a little sloppy. Okay, I'm going to leave that aside for right now, and then swing that out, and then you got the arms, flip that out right over there, swing that down, and then take the fist and move that outward, and then swing this down, and then we have this whole contraption right over here. It's going to swing outward and fold forward, and then we're going to take the fist out, and it swings out the same way because part of this is going to collapse into the forearm. So the way I did this before was you move that back down and back, and then it folds in like so. And then we have this whole head piece right over here, and the torso is going to fold up like that, and then this guy is still a stray right over here. Now where were you supposed to go? Oh yeah, right over here like this. That's right. Pretty sure. Wait, no, it was like this. Yeah, there that goes. And then we take this piece and fold that up right over here, then give him his weapons and accessories, and now we have Leader Class Megatron in his robot mode. And I really like this robot mode a lot. I love how the flame effect looks right here, ported in there. I think it's a very good looking robot mode. Don't mind this backpack so much. We get this big old flat panel over here, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I really like the details on this thing, so let's get a closer look. So I'm a big fan of this head sculpt. I think it looks great. Comparing it to the Voyager Class Megatron head sculpt, that also looks really good as well, but of course, just because of the larger scale, we have more colors and more details. I mean, you can see all the little teeth, right? All the little pointy yellow teeth over there. The eyes look great. Love that we get that gunmetal color for the top of his head. You have some yellow mixed in there. You get those horns right there on the side. It looks like you can see some sculpted Cybertronian text right there. It does have this little lever on the very back, so you could lift up his faceplate. So you just want to go lift that upward. There it goes. And then now you can see he's in defense mode or attack mode, kind of like Optimus Prime, so that's pretty cool. And you just flip it down and boom, goes back to the regular version. You can see the Decepticon symbol right over there. And I like the design for this Megatron, by the way. I've mentioned that before. I really like how he's asymmetrical like this. And we get a little bit more silver dry brushing in his robot mode. You can see some on this shoulder right there. I think that looks great. I don't like this big old gap right over there. That does bother me. And then even though this right side fills in a little bit better than the left, you still get some gappage right there. If I push that in a little bit more, it looks a little better. Looking at the rest of the torso, it looks really good. Now, I don't know. I can't say I love that he has a monstrous fusion cannon like this, but I like that he has a larger one than the tiny one that comes with the Voyager class version. I mean, that's just a little bit too small for me. I think that looks a little bit better, especially because you can extend this if you'd like. You can bring it in a little bit. I mean, I don't see why you'd want to make it, look like the nose of a jet right there. So just, yeah, leave it out like that. And then the script piece looks really good. Even though I wish this wasn't so floppy, when I opened this out of packaging, it was just like a little warped, so that bothered me a little bit. I do think his crotch hangs a little bit too low. There's just like a little bit too much extra crotch, but it gets hidden a little bit by these little flappy pieces that have the nice silver dry brushing once again. So you can see more silver dry brushing right over there. More silver dry brushing right over there. So I do dig that. The legs look really good. I like that. The old kneecaps and everything. Ankles look pretty good over here too, and some Megatron tootsies looking pretty nice. Then looking at the back of the figure, it doesn't look too kibbly or anything. I guess this could be a complaint for a lot of people. It's on the back of the figure, it collapses pretty well, so I'm not too bummed out about that. I think it actually looks pretty good. It doesn't bother me so much. Now for Megatron's articulation, you can move his head side to side, and he will not really look up, except for the transformation will allow him to look up just a tad like that, and not downward at all. So I wish we had a little bit more head movement there, or a lot more head movement anyway. You could rotate his shoulders 360 like so, and I like how this shoulder collapses in on itself like that, so you can move them outward. You get a bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow meets just less than 90 degrees, about 90 degrees right there. You also get rotation at the wrist. I guess you could bend the wrist in like that just due to the transformation. No waist swivel at all. Can lift these up a little bit out of the way. You can definitely lift these up very much out of the way so that you can get him kicking outward just that much. He will kick forward quite a bit. Nice thick ratchety joints right over there. Oh, all the way up right there. And back just about the same amount, but he's bumping into those panels. You're getting above the knee swivel right there. He has a single jointed knee, and then he does have like a calf pivot. It's like an ankle pivot, but it's really like in the mid calf, kind of like that. And then his toes will move downward some, and that's about it. Now measuring out this leader class Megatron figure, you can see that he's standing just at 9 inches tall. And one thing I wanted to mention was I tried to get the flame effects plugged into the bottom of his feet because I thought it'd look kind of neat if you could, fly around like that, but no. There's nothing for it to port into. Then for your last night Megatron comparison, we have the Voyager class version next to the Leader class version. And let me know which one you like more. I like both of these a lot. I think I like the transformation on this guy more. I definitely like the jet mode more on this one. But looking at the two robot modes, I like that we have a lot more color variation on this. I feel like he came out a little too dark, so I don't know, man. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Leader class figure, but I do like that Voyager class figure a lot. And patrons, stay tuned. I will be reviewing this for the patrons. And then for your Leader class comparison, we have the Leader class Megatron next to the Leader class Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. I think this was the Amazon exclusive one. And the Last Night version is the same exact figure, just repainted a bit differently, so that was a hard pass for me. But yeah, you can see that Optimus looks like he's just a little bit taller than Megatron, and they're more or less the same size. Then for your Decepticon Leader class comparison, we have the Revenge of the Fallen Leader class Starscream, and look how much larger he is next to our current Leader class Megatron. So they've really downsized the figures over here. It's a bit of a shame, man. I really like this guy a lot too. He came with sounds and everything. This one does not. So man, I liked this Megatron a lot, but now when I compare him to this Starscream, it's all the stuff that we could have had in this that we don't get. And then comparing Megatron to your average 6-inch scale figure, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. And here's Megatron in a fairly dynamic pose. I did attach him to the True Force Collectibles flight stand that came with the X figure. You can see it does port into the little colito right over there. And I also failed to mention that you can get a fake double jointed knee on this guy. We just have to wait for him to get around over here any second now. There it is. Okay, so you can see that I did break it right over there. I didn't break it, but that's part of the transformation, is that little fake knee bend right over there. I gotta say, I really do like this figure. I don't like that the panels pop off on this guy so much, so I definitely like the transformation more on the Voyager class figure, but overall, I don't know. I'm leaning a little bit more towards this guy over here than the Voyager class, but I really do like them both. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this review. If you did, please hit that like button and leave a comment down below. I want to know which one you think is better, the Voyager class or the Leader class. Also, if you've not subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more ShartimusPrime videos coming your way as I muscle through this cold over here. Also, if you want to hit that notification bell to ensure that my videos pop up in your feed, I'd appreciate that. And I gotta thank all the people over here for supporting what I do here on YouTube. Your guys' contributions go a long way. I really appreciate it. Also, you can see a photo gallery of images at ShartimusPrime.net, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace! I'm gonna play with my toys today. Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.